not only see, Your Highness, but hear.
Francis Ford Coppola was fucking nanners.
Francis Ford Coppola is the most important filmmaker of the 70s. He's the reason you know who George Lucas is.
Francis, how you doing? I love you, man. It's been so long since I've seen you.
He's the director of some of the greatest films ever made, and he's worked with literally everyone. Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, William Burroughs, and even Roger Corman of all people.
Francis Ford Coppola, or FFC as he was known to his friends, was coming off of a great decade. And it's safe to say the success was getting to his head. Well, that and the blow.
Okay, just shut the hell up for one damn minute, George. We're gonna go all in on Zoetrope, you hear me? We're gonna go so far, we're gonna go farther than we've ever gone. We're gonna go so deep that we go deep in the forest and we don't ever fucking come back, you hear me?
It's safe to say that Coppola's production company was getting pretty ambitious.
We're gonna make a kill!
The 80s were off to a bang. With an absurd amount of cash and a dream in his heart, Coppola set off on his mission. He began to approach whatever hot talent he could find to produce a picture with his company, American Zoetrope. He was producing the films of foreign greats like Wim Wenders and Jean-Luc Godard, or, as you scholars know them, Team Eurofancy. On top of that, he was also working with two of the leading voices in surreal cinema, director David Lynch and screenwriter Claire Noto.
Grapes. Always a little strange. Too strange for me.
It looks like an eye.
Huh. You might be onto something there.
But all of these collaborations would pale in comparison to Coppola's collaboration with musician Tom Waits.
Making money, to new decade, and most importantly, to nothing going horribly wrong. Ever.
Everything is fucked up.
All of Coppola's biggest collaborations fell through almost instantaneously. Wim Wenders' Hammett did manage to get made, but when Francis Ford Coppola saw the finished product, he was a little disappointed.
I hated it. Yeah, no, it was unwatchable. We're gonna reshoot it. And by we, I mean me. I'm gonna reshoot like 80% of it.
Meanwhile, things were also falling apart with Lynch, and Noto too. The production of other films halted the development of Lynch's Ronnie Rocket, as well as Claire Noto's The Tourist.
But by far the biggest disaster was Coppola's collab with Tom Waits.
One from the Heart was another over-budget Zoetrope train wreck. FFC seems like he learned absolutely nothing from his 70s productions because he managed to turn this small musical into one of the most notorious flops of all time.
Well, Paramount, you can't pull distribution a month before we open. Oh, come on. I mean, yeah, sure, the screenings were great, but hello? Shit. Yeah, Columbia? Yeah, it's me, Francis. Oh, yeah.
The only person to come out of this without a scratch was Jean-Luc Godard, who managed to get 2 movies out of the deal. But for Coppola, this would start a streak of bad luck that began in the 80s and hasn't really stopped. His directorial efforts just never resonated the way they did in the 70s. That is the sad tale of Francis Ford.
See, I don't know where I went wrong, Matt, you know. All I wanted was to make a place where artists could make art, but no matter how good the artist was, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. It didn't work.
It's just so unfair, Coppola.
It is unfair, Matt. It really is. I don't know, maybe the 90s will be better. Honey, I have my next big movie! Robin Williams plays a little boy!
I want to be like the big guy. My best friend, Jack.
Okay, listen, Dad, I gotta go. No, I really gotta go. Number 1.
Jack. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola.